The stage is set, and the stakes could not be higher. It's the finale of the PEC regular season for Super Smash Bros. Here from the Shine Gaming and Esports Center, we've got Syracuse against Minnesota, and I'm Jack Elliott here with Ryan Foreman. And Ryan, this is probably the biggest matchup that either of these two teams have played this year.
Absolutely. You talk about the stakes. Let's just get right into it. The standings of the PEC are shaping out in a way where Syracuse is a game behind Nebraska right now, who is the 3 seed. Syracuse sits in the 4 seed. However, a win tonight would make them both 14-4, and Syracuse owns the tiebreaker. So the job is to get the win for Syracuse.
Yeah, and let me break down why that's so important, getting that 3 seed as opposed to that 4 seed. The PEC championships are coming up just a couple weeks in Las Vegas. So all 8 Smash teams, all 8 Smash programs are going to be entered into the PEC championship. And should everything turn out chalk, 1, 2, 3, and 4 all win, which given the current standings looks fairly likely. The top 4 are kind of separated from the rest of the pack. Then Syracuse, if they're the 4 seed, would have to play Michigan State, who has only lost 1 game all year. If they're 3, then they'll get to play Minnesota, who they definitely have the opportunity to take a game off, and we'll get to see that matchup tonight. So the favorable matchup for Syracuse would be getting that 3 seed, only having to play Michigan State should they both reach the final.
Absolutely. And I mean, regardless, if you get that 3 seed, you get another run at this Minnesota team, you get another run at this Minnesota team, which I think is exciting because it starts the feel of that postseason right now, which is just going to be absolutely exciting, ecstatic, and a lot of electricity, a lot of ease today, Jack.
I mean, they're all going to be in the Sin City. It's an absolutely fantastic location, and the road to that location wraps up tonight. Going to be an absolute blast, but we were just drafting with Coach Bear. We were kind of talking to him. He was like, listen, all the guys really want to win this game. This has been, they've been working up to this, and we've got a really interesting set of matchups for you guys tonight. Real quick, though, for one final time, because we are wrapping up the regular season, let's break down the format of PEC Smash Bros. This year. Here you go. We'll take a look real quick at the standings. You can see Syracuse has a game in hand, is even on losses with Nebraska, so a win will even them up. Everybody else below 500, and Utah does not have a Smash roster. But one more time to take you guys through the format of Smash Bros. In the PEC this year. It's a series of picks and counter picks. So you start off, you get Team 1 and Team 2. Syracuse has elected to be Team 1. Minnesota okay with being Team 2 here in this first round. And then Team 1 picks a blind. That blind will go in first. And Team 2 picks a blind. That blind goes into the last matchup. From there, it's a series of picks and counter picks. So Minnesota counter picked Syracuse's first blind. Then Minnesota had a blind pick, and back and forth from there until the last matchup. The matchups for this one, Syracuse had the first blind, obviously. Syracuse started things out strong. Got the ball rolling the right way. They picked Syrup playing Steve. Minnesota then responded with Doug Todd playing Mario, and then blind picked Grizzhawk playing Bowser Jr. Syracuse counterpicks Millsharks playing King K. Rool, which is not a character we see Millsharks play all that often. And then Syracuse blind picked Scooby playing Mii Brawler. Minnesota picked Sriracha playing Piranha playing into that Mii Brawler, and then the final Minnesota blind, who they picked at the beginning, Stitch playing Yoshi, and it'll be the Syracuse, the vocal leader of the team, Sarvi, playing Luigi into that last matchup.
A lot of Mario representation across the board, which I love to see. It's a fan of the classics, but outside of that, a lot of these matchups really interest me. I'm especially looking at that Millsharks Grizzhawk, the big K. Rool taking on a smaller, more agile Bowser Jr. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to play out, but I think that matchup definitely favors Millsharks due to that counter that K. Rool has that can also reflect projectiles.
Yeah, want to keep breaking down these matchups, but real quick, let's take a look at what happened last time out for Syracuse. This was against Baylor. So Baylor, is one of the kind of towards that bottom of the PEC currently, and Syracuse actually went down early to Baylor in that first set. Proceeded to lock in their Syrup, getting a nice 3 stock there on Ness though. This one, that's going to be Millsharks usually playing DK, and it was an incredible performance, a nice little comeback there from him.
Absolutely. I mean, this first set had a lot of anticipation because it got very close, but in the second set, as you could see, Syracuse took over that 8-2 there, finished it off by Talia, and it was definitely something that Syracuse had a few hiccups on, but were able to get the job done.
Right, and you were on the call with Rowan that week, correct?
Yes, I was.
Yeah, so I was out of town, so of course I couldn't make it. But that was your casting debut.
It was very awesome to come here and shine and make my debut with a fellow New Jersey, and now I'm back with another New Jersey.
Yeah, of course. Lots of New Jersey representation in the Syracuse esports casting booth. But yeah, no, I got an opportunity to listen. You sounded great. It was a great matchup.
Oh, thank you.
But let's keep taking a look at this one. Obviously, you have to go, and you got to pick Syrup on Steve for that first matchup,
I mean,
correct?
of course. You were talking with me earlier. Pound the rock. That is your power move off the start. That is where you're looking to get that 3 stock and a lot of points on the board.
Yeah, you want to set the tone, establish the run, as they say in football. That's the best way to do it. From there, King K. Rool, I always get a little bit nervous when these guys play a character that we don't get to see a lot of, because I'm like, oh, are you like, you're trying something new out here, but I of course assume that they've all practiced them a million times.
I mean, you gotta hope so, but I do love K. Rool because I think he's one of the most unique heavy carriers because he has a surprising amount of agility to him with that dash attack that comes out very, very quick, and a lot of projectiles in his arsenal.
Right? Yeah. I mean, the King K. Rool, you got the crown, correct?
Love
and then
the crown.
You've got the big.
The cannon.
Yeah, the blunderbuss, I think it's called.
I love that. The blunderbuss.
Right.
It's a great word to say.
It's a fantastic word, yeah. Then you've got Mii Brawler, Scooby against Piranha Plant. Piranha Plant, I feel like we don't see a ton of Piranha Plant, although there was a Piranha Plant on Baylor. So that was interesting.
Yes, I was going to touch on that. Very out of the blue. A lot of unpredictable angles that Piranha Plant can hit from. But
good
it's
edge
also
guarding, I feel
very
like, too.
good edge guarding. That down B has a ludicrous amount of reach. It could probably reach to the next state if we're talking about that.
Right, yeah. I mean, so that's going to be interesting. But Scooby is a fighter who doesn't love to go off stage all that much. So
No.
the goal there will be to stay on stage, avoid the edge guarding, kind of play up close and personal. And then you've got Sarby playing Luigi into Yoshi. This was a matchup that he kind of knew he was going to have to play. We were chatting before, and he was like, well, I know I'm going to have to play a lot of Yoshi tonight. So it's certainly something that I assume he's ready for. Syracuse has a very good Yoshi on their roster as well, Talia. So, I assume he's been practicing, getting ready, fighting against that character all this week to prepare for this matchup.
And that brings together a brotherhood there. But now we're going to get right into it, Jack.
Yeah, we've got Syrup playing Steve against Doug Todd playing Mario. Syrup already starting things off, trying to get a little bit of space and do a little bit of mining. Just off to that left side, Mario comes in, disrupts, deals 22% now. They're just kind of jockeying for position. Syrup hasn't had the opportunity to upgrade at all, so still only on those wooden tools. Goes for the down air, doesn't get it, and is now just kind of jockeying for position. Down on percents right now. Goes for a couple up smashes, doesn't get any of them to really land, and really just still jockeying for position now.
And you touched on it there. Upgrading is the core of Steve's character, along with building, of course. But if you can't upgrade, you don't get much, as you see him trying to get some mining there. But the spacing has got to be a little bit of a concern right now.
Yeah, got up to gold tools now, so that's pretty good. Not as good as diamond, of course, but the gold tools will do a lot more percent than the wood or the stone. Off stage, back air, knockout.
My goodness.
Syrup starts things off exactly the way that he would want to.
What absolute stage control there. The block into the cart, just perfectly set up, almost like you're prepping a dinner there.
Absolutely disgusting. Got a nice combo off there, up to 46%. He has diamond, goes for the down air, can't quite get it. Now just still jockeying for position. Mario lands a nice blow, up to 103% now. Is Syrup up to 112, definitely in that knockout zone. Really looking for a 3-stock here, but anything that he can provide for this team would be great.
Love this nice, intense matchup off the gate. A lot of action up close and personal. See the edge guarding there?
I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. Now he's got diamond tools. Tries to build off stage. No, can't get it, but the knockout there. Up at 120% is Syrup, and he's got some work to do in order to get a 3-stock. But if there's anybody on this Syracuse roster who can do it, it's him. Fighting off stage. That was incredible. Got the down air to go. Gets knocked across stage there, though. Up off stage. Gets a minecart coming across.
Not a lot of
Look for a down arrow, and there's the knockout.
Not a lot of block walls today from Syrup. A lot of more block structures. We're seeing like some more L shapes, some more solo blocks, setting up the minecart a lot today.
Yeah, he seems to be reliant on that minecart, and it has worked so far. Gets a little bit of space. He needs some more materials right now. His material bar is looking pretty low. Goes for the minecart again. Gets a nice back air to land, but it won't knock. 101% now. Looking for a knockout move. Launches Doug Todd off stage. Up at 123%. Definitely in that knockout zone.
Doug Todd really bringing it. And never mind, I spoke too soon. Syrup gets the knockout.
Yeah, that's a huge way to start off for Syracuse. It's a 2-stock win, so it's a 4-1 lead for Syracuse headed into match 2. And against one of the better players on this Minnesota team, I think that's about what you would ask for from Syrup.
Absolutely. Doug Todd brought it. He was absolutely getting in Syrup's way every way, shape, or form. Wasn't letting him space the floor too often. But as Steve, Syrup was able to get through that, and that's why he's one of the top players in the world.
Of course, and that, just having him on this team is always such a game changer, and it changes the momentum so much when he comes out and he gives you a 4-1 win, a 4-0 win. That is just like it shifts the game in such a positive direction for Syracuse. Looking now, we head to matchup 2. It's Mill Sharks playing King K. Rool against Grizzhawk Bowser Jr. And this is one that I think is pretty interesting.
This is the one I was talking about before. I think this is the matchup to watch because it's two characters on such an opposite side of the spectrum. You got big King K. Rool and mini Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr. has a lot of ways to really disrupt your offense as K. Rool. But as K. Rool, it's a lot. But let's take a look at that final couple of hits there.
Yeah, let's go take a look at these replays. That was the second knockout. I mean, that was beautiful. It was a great prediction. Syrup did get knocked out once. There's the back air that dealt so much percent and eventually led to that final knockout, another back air. He loves that back air for the knockout move.
It plays the role of a spike and a great hit with a lot of knockback, but I just got to say, all those hits were so satisfying to watch, and I think that's just what makes Syrup such a joy to watch, such a joy to cover, and he's just really fluid with all of his movements.
Yeah, I would say that's exactly right. I really like that description. He's fluid. Everything he does feels like he had it planned 5 seconds ago. And that's the joy of getting to watch one of these top players. And he's made everybody else on the team better. And I would say Mill Sharks is one of those players on this team who has improved so much this year, especially with Syrup on the team.
And I love that. I mean, it really shows the brotherhood all these guys have, that they're all practicing with each other. They want to make each other better to ultimately claim that goal at the top at Vegas.
Yeah, of course. And then, of course, they've got all of these other all of these other tournaments that they play in. They've got CECC coming up. They've got Play Versus, all of these different tournaments. But the PEC tournament in Las Vegas, I mean,
it's the crown jewel.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a premier location. It's in the HyperX Arena in Vegas. Super cool. There you go. You see Mill Sharks on the screen getting ready for this matchup. And, this is one where if Syracuse can go ahead and win this matchup, if Mill Sharks can come up with a win here, you got to feel pretty confident.
Absolutely, but I don't want that pressure to get to Mill Sharks because, granted, look, it's still the second matchup. There's still a lot of time left, but that shouldn't also make you take your foot off the gas pedal. So you got to find that middle ground mentally where you're still, okay, I got to put pressure, get the job done, and not be like, okay, I have a cushion because of Syrup.
Right, yeah. You have to build on... You have to build on the foundation that Syrup gave you in that first matchup. You can't take your foot off the gas.
Absolutely. You said it. I think you said it probably better than I could have with that. Build on the foundation. I love that because that's what this is. You got to build on the previous person, get the job done after the person before you.
And I will say that's something that I really enjoy about this format for the PEC. It makes this such a team game. It makes it so that you have to rely on everybody on your roster at different points throughout the year. You're going to need more favorable matchups at certain points. You're going to have to bring in somebody who, maybe doesn't play as much but can say, I know I can beat that character. I know I have that matchup won. And I think that's something, we've gotten to see so much variety rather than just seeing one person run through a whole roster.
Individual just bigger than the team here, which is or other way around. The team bigger than the individual, and that's what this format really shines with.
Right, we're stepping into it now, though. King K. Rool, Mill Sharks for Syracuse against Grizzhawk playing Bowser Jr. for Minnesota. Starts off with a couple of bombs, but a nice little combo. Here comes the crown back, but couldn't get it to connect on the comeback. 36% now for Grizzhawk. kind of just jockeying for center stage. Gets the cannonball to go. 70% now for Grizzhawk. Good shield there from Milsharks. Once again, just still kind of jockeying around that center. A nice little combo, but Milsharks managed to get out of it. Now up to 70%. Pretty even match so far here.
Grizz getting a lot more personal than with Bowser Jr. than I would have thought. I haven't seen many projectiles being used yet, which I find very interesting.
Oh, knocked out, maybe going to be able to get back up. Good recovery there from Milsharks to make it back to the top. And a nice grab, a slam, and a knockout. Wow!
Planted into the crown, sending Grizz sky high. What a move from Milsharks.
That was absolutely incredible and set the tone the right way for this matchup. Got to be feeling confident now. Now you got to extend this this first stock as far as you can, because you know it's going to be a limited amount of time. And there's the knockout. Only got 11% on that second stock, but any advantage is good.
Bowser Jr. recovery, uniquely offensive in that explosion of the clown car, which you saw right there. Very effective.
Oh, and a nice combo there from Milsharks. Up to 80% already on the second stock is Grizzhawk trying to find a way through. There comes the crown back again, and just pile driven into the ground is Milsharks. Jockeying for position on this right side, seeing who can knock the other one off first. Milsharks is going to retreat back to center stage. Up on that right platform, gets launched over to the left platform, back to even percents really. There goes that little wind-up toy bomb and deals a couple of percents, but nothing too bad. Off that right side. Milsharks back into the middle, lands a nice punch. Looking for a knockout blow now, up to 120% is Grizzhawk. Leaves the car, deals a bunch of percents, up to 124. The spike off the edge, and wow, Milsharks falls behind, but up at 120% is Grizzhawk. Needs to find the knockout soon, but Grizzhawk just applied a ton of pressure, up to 80% already, now 90%. Hasn't dealt a single percent Milsharks here on this third stock.
Grizzhawk's really feeling like he's taken control so far of this second half of this game.
And he couldn't get the knockout there. That was a prime opportunity. Manages to stay alive. Grizzhawk tried to get the blunderbuss to suck him in, but couldn't get it there. Tosses the wind-up toy. Now fires a cannonball. Just floats harmlessly off the edge. There's another cannonball. Bing! Into the distance. Things are tied back up, but Milsharks is nearly in knockout zone, even for a high density character like King K. Rool.
He's on borrowed time right now. He just has to take out a loan that's a little too much to try to get this stock. I mean,
did he get it? Oh no, we got the animation, but he couldn't quite find the knockout. Up to 50% now is Grizzhawk. Up to 158 though is Milsharks, and there goes the cart, the knockout.
Dang, is that 3 cart KOs that I saw from Grizz?
That was absolutely perfectly played from Grizzhawk. It's a 4-2 win for Minnesota. Brings things to 6-5 here in this one.
I mean, a lot to talk about there. Just a lot of action back and forth, a lot of up-close personal. I almost felt like K. Rool was trying to play with a little too many projectiles there, which I don't think plays to the character's strengths. Granted, Milsharks did put up an absolutely amazing effort there,
right,
being at such high percentage.
But maybe just needed to keep it a little bit closer in. We'll take a look at the replays here, find out what went right and what went wrong. He got the smash here and then got the knockout too, but couldn't get it the second time that he got Grizzhawk planted in the ground. There was that second knockout. See, there you go. He's got it there, but he can't find the knockout blow.
It almost looks like it could have been maybe a misinput because he did an up air, so he's clearly going for that up smash that got right the first time.
Right, yeah. He might have just messed it up just a little bit.
It happens.
And, I mean, those margins are so small, and the sensitivity is so high on these controllers that just even doing something a little different than you usually do can lead to a misinput like that.
And I mean, that puts the score. Syracuse is still up, but only by 1 now, which puts this next matchup into a lot of pressure, Jack.
Yeah, Scooby's going to be under a microscope here. This one is incredibly important. You've got Sarvi anchoring the lineup, but Scooby needs to put up a performance where, you know, even if he might not win, he still takes 2 stocks and bring things down to that final stock. That puts Sarvi in the best possible position to win in his matchup.
Definitely can't afford to play too sloppy here. You got to make sure that everything goes the way you want. You can afford a little bit of leeway, like you said, but really you can't afford to get whopped here.
And Scooby, another player who has just improved so much this year. And this is, I mean, playing Piranha Plant excuse me, a character that you don't really get to see a lot of, especially in the PEC. That's going to be really interesting.
Genuinely just such a unique character with all of the angles that it can attack from. And of course the poison gas, which is good chip damage over time. It really is a character that builds up to that big shot, but it's just not something you see often, like you said.
Yeah, Scooby definitely going to have to play, up close and personal, I would say. Obviously, that's the point of Mii Brawler. But if you find yourself getting battered around and allowing Piranha Plant to use those projectiles, you're going to find yourself, up in those high percents real quickly.
Definitely. And Piranha Plant also has one of the most mobile recoveries where you can adjust any direction on a dime. There's no delay in the input there. You want to go a little bit diagonal, you can go a little bit. So the angles are just so unique for a character you don't see.
And, Mii Brawler, not a character that's all that great at edge guarding. You've got the shot put, but it's like...
That's it.
And it's not that great of an edge guarding move either. Obviously you hone it, especially if you're Scooby playing this character so much. But that is a really difficult skill to master.
It is, and that's where the other skills of Mii Brawler has. Scooby is playing with suplex on the side special and a feint on the bottom, which I love. I love the feint kick. It is some of the best horizontal movement in the game, along with the suplex. So a lot of horizontal recovery options for Mii Brawler.
Yeah, so, definitely able to move laterally across the stage, and that's going to be so important, closing the distance quickly against Piranha Plant.
Absolutely. Piranha Plant is a character that is not very fast. It's a little bit slow, a little bit clunkier. It's just in the air where that character just becomes an absolute menace and just pure unpredictability incarnate.
Right. So, definitely not looking to get batted up, definitely not looking to get juggled. And it's something I've seen happen with Scooby in the past where he can get juggled, especially by characters who play well in the air. And that's not something you're going to want to see here because, that'll just spell doom for him.
A lot of stress from the most not loved character on the roster. You look at the Smash roster and you see Piranha Plant. It sticks out like a sore thumb.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely unique.
Oh, I can't argue that.
I think, for a new player, you might be like, oh, Piranha Plant, that's pretty cool. But anyways, we're getting into it here. We got Scooby playing Mii Brawler and Sriracha playing Piranha Plant for Minnesota.
Looks to come out red hot, if you would.
Yeah, I'm really liking Scooby has kind of changed his appearance a little bit recently. Gets a shot put to fall early, nearly got it again there. Tries a third, can't get it. Goes for a fourth one, but Piranha Plant was already back on stage. There's a chip damage. Oh, there's the suplex though. Launches a shot put that just barely manages to connect. 61% is Piranha Plant, up to 43% is Scooby.
I love this.
There's that spike ball. The spike ball is like if the shot put was good.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's kind of how I feel about it. They're very similar in the way that they move, but there's just so much more control with that. Up to 90% now is Piranha Plant. Scooby playing well so far. Dodges that one. Gets a slam and a punch upward. No, can't get it. The uppercut doesn't land.
I love how hot Scooby's coming out. He's really trying to play aggressive, and it's paying off so far.
He's pushing the envelope, absolutely. Gets a side kick all the way across and gets the shot put to land. Gets another shot put to land. Needs one more for the knockout. Can he get it? No, just missed it there.
He's aiming for threes, if you would. 3-point contest for college right around the corner.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that is kind of what it feels like. Oh, gets the up smash.
And he's sent to the roof. The plant is now in the air.
Yeah, my goodness. That was an absolute blast from Scooby. Oh, there's the counter. There's the knockout counter from Piranha Plant.
Now it's a 0-0 almost kind of. As you can see, the percentage for Sriracha is building up there. Scooby's doing a great job handling the stage here.
Yeah, and I will say Scooby's shot put has been on today. Maybe because we were talking about it. He heard us. Lands another one. My goodness, can Piranha Plant recover? Wow, yeah. That recovery is absolutely no joke, but up to 113% is Piranha Plant. Oh, gets a nice little juggle on Scooby there, but lets him get back on stage, which was an interesting choice. Didn't get any battering going, really. Tosses Scooby off stage up to 90%. Wow, that was a nice spike ball. Oh, Scooby with a good shot put to regain some stage space. Now jockeying in that center stage, looking for that knockout blow up to 140%. There it is! Scooby takes a 2-1 lead, 92%. He's still got time to make something happen on this stock.
And it all comes down to that shot put. It has been his best friend this set. As you can see right there, I think he's hit more than he's missed.
Yeah, there's the knockout, but he's got 35 extra percent to work with. Now 58% as he gets the suplex to go. goes for a shot put off the side, but this is the best I've ever seen Scooby use his shot put.
And what a better time to do this. When the lights are brightest, you got to perform.
No, I nearly hit the combo there, ending with the uppercut that tends to knock out, especially at this high percentage. Gets back on stage with a nice little uppercut, manages to deal a little bit of percent as well. Lands back on stage. Oh, but it was a good way to take advantage from Piranha Plant. Scooby kicks off stage, has the shot put, tries to land one. Oh, can't quite get it to go. Waiting for Piranha Plant to commit, make a move. Oh, it's a good read from Piranha Plant to deal some extra percents to Scooby. Good shield, but gets knocked back off stage. Up to 106% now is Piranha Plant. Looking for that edge guard. Can't quite get it. Piranha Plant made it go back up with the spike. Scooby takes game 3. 4-2.
An absolute slam dunk. Double axe handle into the earth, back where the plant belongs.
Looking like William Kyle of the Syracuse basketball team out there. Scooby with a slam.
Woo! I mean, oh my goodness. Just an absolutely amazingly played game by Scooby there. He had full control with that shot put, which I think he hit at least, let's give it over 20.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible from him. I mean, that's some of the best Smash that I've ever seen Scooby play, and probably you too. I mean, I've been watching him a lot longer than you. Let's take a look at it again because he was on his game tonight.
He was shooting lights out, almost Steph Curry with a shot put, if you would, which is a sentence I never thought I would utter.
Yeah, I mean, that's such a difficult move to master, especially on that edge guard, and he had it today. There's the second knockout, and then we'll take a look at that last one, the spike. My goodness.
It's all business.
Yeah, and it all comes down to this last matchup. It's Sarvi playing Luigi against Stitch playing Yoshi. There are a couple of scenarios to break down. The win scenarios for Syracuse. If Sarvi loses by 1 stock or anything better, so if he wins his game or if he loses by 1 stock, Syracuse... Wait, let me do math real quick. Hold on. No, if he loses by 1 stock or wins his match, Syracuse will win. Otherwise, if he loses by 2 stocks, we'll go to a best of 1 tiebreaker matchup. So that will obviously Syracuse would send Syrup into that one, and Syracuse feels pretty good about that. If he gets swept, then Minnesota wins. So all he has to do is not get swept, and if he loses by 1 or does better than that, then Syracuse wins outright.
A great cushion for the captain that's been built, but it's definitely something you can't take too much comfort in. You still got to go in and you got to play like this is still a match that decides it. Because frankly, it is.
It is. You can't get swept here. And Stitch is a good character. Stitch is a good player playing Yoshi. One of those characters that, every roster kind of has somebody who plays Yoshi because it's an easy character to pick up. It's a good character to learn, and it's a good character just in general.
Absolutely. I mean, he's got very versatile aerials, although not a true recovery technically. But he's got so much mobility, so much high-power shots. And, I mean, he's classified as a heavy character despite not looking it.
No, he really does not. But, man, Yoshi stays alive forever. And it is so frustrating if you're playing against him.
I mean, Talia plays Yoshi, too. And you see the same from his opponents, a lot of frustration. He's able to really counterpunch, which I think Yoshi is really good at.
Yeah, Talia, we do know, confirmed beforehand, benched tonight, so not going to see action, but has been absolutely crucial on Yoshi in a bunch of these matchups and a bunch of these games this year. So going to be interesting to see Syracuse having to play a Yoshi instead of having one on their team this time.
But it's like we talked about earlier in the show. I mean, Sarv probably practices with Talia, so... You got to think that the familiarity is there. There's some kind of correspondence to knowing what's going to come out and knowing what Yoshi works well with.
Right, yeah, and because I feel like Yoshi is one of those characters where the combos are generally they're pretty well established.
Yeah, no, I mean, you just got your bread and butter, a lot of egg throws into more up airs, like a lot of aerial combos that really just drag you up and up and up.
Right, yeah, those tail whips. Those tail whips come out a lot, especially to knock out.
It's a multi-hit attack, frankly. I mean, You don't need to hit both of them, and it's hard to dodge that in the air.
Right, and Luigi, a character who doesn't really play all that well in the air, I would say.
No, not at all. I mean, granted, his most powerful attack is that up air,
right, of course.
Recovery.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, Luigi's a ground specialist who loves to move laterally. That spin, that down B spin, very effective combo starter, and a lot of good lateral recovery. So this is, once again, another matchup that's two sides of a very different coin.
Right. The one thing I will say, Yoshi has that one projectile, the egg, but neither of these characters really look to edgeguard with projectiles all that much.
Nope, just their bodies.
Right. They
full action.
We should see a lot of jockeying off stage. If one character gets knocked off stage, the other character might go out there to try and meet them and find a knockout far off stage.
And that's broken the mold of pretty much this whole matchup so far. Granted, you would think you would see it with the Steve Mario matchup, but we didn't.
No, and I think that just speaks to the talent of Syrup,
Absolutely.
obviously. But yeah, no, this is going to be a bit of a different feel of a fight than the other three fights that we've seen so far.
Almost like a dog fight, if you put it into plain terms. A lot of aerial, trying to hunt down the other person, see if you could get the jump on the person before they get the jump on you.
Right, yeah, and then so say Syracuse takes this one. These are, of course, best of 3 sets. So if Syracuse can take set 1, then they will play their second set for a chance to sweep.
And I mean, what better option to have that where you have one of the biggest cushions you can ask for, frankly. But overall, I got to say, you can't be thinking that far ahead in a matchup like this with so much at stake. You got to be centered and present right where you are before you're thinking about, okay, who are we sending out for set 2?
Syracuse lost this matchup really tightly in the fall. Now has the opportunity to, take that one back, and they look confident. They look more composed than they did in the fall. They look more ready than they did in the fall. As we're getting into it right here, Sarvi playing Luigi against Stitch playing Yoshi. It all ends right now.
So much around this, a lot at stake, and what better on a Thursday night for Smash to end the PEC regular season.
Yeah, already lots of jockeying back and forth. And, Sarvi as Luigi is a character who takes a lot of hits and then just lands one massive combo, and all of a sudden it's even. We can already kind of see that here. 83-72, now all knotted up at 83.9% specifically. Now Sarvi takes the percentage lead, really jockeying back and forth, using a couple of projectiles. Sarvi manages to get back on stage. Looked dangerous there for a minute. Looked like he could have been juggled up there. Now looking for the juggle, but no, Sarvi managed to recover it and gets the knockout on low percentage. Wow, I don't think I expected that one at all.
The unexpected star KO is one of the greatest phenomena in Smash. You never see it coming, but once it's there, you are caught so off guard and hyped up.
So Sarvi has already guaranteed that Syracuse will at least get the opportunity for a tiebreaker matchup. There's the knockout. If he can get one more stock off, then Syracuse will have won this one.
I don't even think he's thinking about that. I think
he's just playing his game. He's playing his game. He wants to go out there and win this and make this a dominant, emphatic performance for SU. Up 69-30 on this second stock. Characters are even on stocks, jockeying for position on that left side.
And
goes for the grab, can't quite get it to land. Still kind of, just like feeling each other out. Sarvi, though, gets a nice couple of punches in there. Now looking to recover is Yoshi. Yoshi juggling Sarvi up in the air. Nearly got the combo off, but couldn't quite finish the juggle. Goes for the grab again, can't get it to land, and gets juggled up again. Both up over 100%, really looking towards knockout zone for both characters. Sarvi goes over, looking for the edge guard. Can he get the knockout? No! Still looking for the edge guard and the spike! Syracuse confirms set 1, and Sarvi looks dominant, now looking to go on and get a win for SU.
And it's boiled down to the edge guard. I mean, you see there, Sarvi just got a stock taken on, but the edge guarding has been phenomenal, and that is what has given him those 2 stocks.
And it's non-traditional edge guarding like we were talking about pregame. It's not what you usually look for. Now it gets a nice little combo off, only about 24%. Both on this last stock here.
Still a lot of fighting in the air like we were talking about. The dogfight is in full effect here.
Yeah, Sarvi using that tornado really to space against this character who likes to juggle in the air. Jockeying back in that center stage. Goes for the tornado again. Oh, the egg hit the spike. Can Sarvi recover? He cannot. So Sarvi falls in this last matchup 4-2, but he did absolutely everything that he needed to. It's a 12-11 win for Syracuse in set 1, and Syracuse is in a great position to claim that 3 seed right now.
It sends a message not just to Minnesota, but to everybody in the standings right now. This is the last match, period. So you got to think more than just Syracuse and Minnesota eyes are on this matchup. This is a team that just... Granted, they won 50% of the games here, but they still are able to get the job done because as a team, it's so cohesive. Everything blends together perfectly, and that's what gets them to take these sets.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and look at the replays from Sarvi right now. It was a heroic performance. He did absolutely what you needed him to do, and that's what you ask for from your captain. You ask for them to do just enough, and he did just enough there. That was the knockout that confirmed it, and there was that final spike. Couldn't get the recovery. But, I mean, Syrup was the difference maker there. If he doesn't win his set by 2, then we head to a tiebreaker, and that was the real difference maker in this one.
Absolutely, and it's amazing to have an ace in the hole like Syrup to really get the job done there. But we're
gonna take a break real quick. We have to draft again for set 2. Syracuse up 1-0. We'll be right back. Syracuse took set 1 by a score of 12-11. Now Syracuse looks for the sweep to claim the 3 seed for the PEC championships in Vegas over Minnesota. If Syracuse can win this game, they'll move into the 3 seed. They'll beat out Nebraska. Nebraska will drop to 4, and Syracuse will get another run at Minnesota in the semifinals of the PEC championships. That starts right now. Syracuse looking for the sweep, and we've got a bunch of interesting matchups. It's actually 3 of the exact same matchups as set 1 and 1 different one.
I find that to be very interesting, especially because some of those matchups in that first set were very, very close.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Grizzhawk playing Mill Sharks, Bowser Jr. versus King K. Rool, respectively. That went the way of Grizzhawk 4-2. But, that's one that Syracuse thinks that they can get back. That'll be the final matchup of the round. The second to last matchup is the new one. So that's going to be Sinam playing Kazuya against Scooby playing Mii Brawler. They decided to leave the hot hand in. That's what they were discussing, whether they wanted to leave Scooby, who was playing so well in against, they thought it would be Sora, but it's actually Kazuya, so that'll be interesting. They didn't expect Kazuya to come out.
It's a very big shift going from a very ranged character in Sora to Kazuya, who is the most up-close character in the game with only 1 projectile. Granted, the I-beam is an incredible projectile. I don't know if you'd even call it that, but it's very interesting. We're going to see a very up-close and personal matchup there.
The second matchup of the set is Sarvi playing Luigi against Stitch playing Yoshi. Stitch took that one 4-2, but all Sarvi had to do for Syracuse to win the set was take 2 stocks, which he was able to do. And we talked to him in between while we were drafting, and he said, yeah, if I stop doing dumb side Bs, I can win that matchup.
And I love that. I mean, there's no more Luigi move than a side B. It's just so Luigi, but I love that. I mean, he acknowledges, okay, I still made a mistake. I mean, even though we won, I still want this. I need this almost.
And then the first matchup is going to be Syrup playing Steve against Doug Todd playing Mario. We'll see if Syrup can grab that 3 stock, start Syracuse off even better than last time. Or, maybe Doug Todd gets one back. Maybe it ends 4, maybe Syrup only wins by a stock. Maybe it ends 4-2. You never know. I have my money on Syrup either performing the same or better. He'll just get hotter as the night goes on, but I don't know.
I agree with you, Jack. In the past couple weeks, Syrup has outdone himself in these second sets after the first sets. I think it could be a thing where maybe you get warm. You're like, okay, we're in the competitive atmosphere. We're ready. And he just outdoes himself. I remember that very, very quick round he played as Ness, I believe, against Baylor last time we were on the air. Or I was, at least.
Right.
But it was really impressive to see Syrup show even why he's more dominant than you think he is.
Absolutely. I completely lost my train of thought there, so that's fun.
Happens to the best of us, Jack.
But we're talking about that warmth. You get better as time goes on, and when they drafted Kazuya, when they drafted Sinam playing Kazuya, and Scooby had not played Kazuya yet, they immediately told Scooby, hey, go outside, start warming up. You got 5 minutes to be ready to play against a Kazuya because it's not going to be like what you were playing against before in Piranha Plant.
Absolutely not. As I mentioned earlier, Kazuya, a very up-close character. But from Tekken, which is a very formal fighting game, he has all those fighting game inputs like your quarter circles, forward and back, your semicircles, and your dragon punches, which are the keys to his tool. His Electric Wind and Wind God Fist are the best combo stars in the game where he literally is just playing Tekken but in a Smash format.
Right, and you know a lot about him. He's your main.
He is my main. I love Kazuya because big numbers equal brain happy, and that's what Kazuya does because he hits like a titanium truck carrying bricks going 80 down a freeway.
Yeah, so my main is Dark Samus, who is not represented in
Dark Samus
in the Syracuse team. I just love Dark Samus.
You big Metroid Prime guy?
Not really. Like I don't play the original game, but I just latched on to Dark Samus from a very young age, playing Smash Ultimate, and that has continued.
I find it to be very interesting because also Kazuya being a DLC character, I didn't latch on to him early at first, but I would say before that probably Lucario because I've been a big Pokemon fan my whole life. Loved Lucario. I mean, I still do. I use him in many playthroughs. But I love that, like, you see your favorite characters and you latch onto them. But in competitive, I feel like that kind of goes out the window in some way where some people are able to play their favorites, but others, It just, they find a character and they love it.
Yeah, especially, there's always going to be characters that are better in the meta and characters that are worse in the meta. Sierra picking up Steve, which is like probably the best character in the meta, especially if you can play him that well.
Of course. I mean, so much control.
Yeah, that screams a pick that's like, I'm going to get really good because, Sierra played Ness for the longest time. That was his main. He kind of grew up on playing Ness and then added Steve to his repertoire later.
Absolutely. Ness has been in the game literally since its inception back in Smash on the 64, the Nintendo 64, going through Melee, through Brawl, through Smash 4, now to Ultimate, which is really incredible to see one of the classics being represented there. But we also see that a lot on this list, which I mentioned at the first moment of the show. We got Mario, Luigi, and I believe not Yoshi was a member of the Classics, but Mario and Luigi were part of the Classic roster.
Yeah, and Yoshi, Yoshi comes from like the same franchise, so feels like one of those classic characters.
A lot of familiarity
right,
from the fans and everybody, honestly.
Yeah, whereas, you look at Steve, Kazuya, even Rool, those are different. We're getting into it now, though. Syrup looking for a dominant performance here to start things off right for Syracuse. Gets the down air and gets an opportunity to mine a little bit. Tried to get a predict there, start a little combo, but couldn't get it. Gets a footstool down air, though. Hasn't taken a percent yet, and already up to 75% is Mario. Smashed off stage, and my goodness, just ultimate control. No recovery. Syrup, 0 to death. Absolutely dominant.
The hard way, but you already see the control is already starting off miles better than he did in this first set, and that just speaks to how great of a player Syrup is, where he's able to change how well he plays based on his warmth.
Gets another down air into a minecart, but wow, that was an insane combo from Doug Todd. Evens things up. God, if he can do that again, that is concerning for Syracuse.
That's a statement maker right there. He just carried Syrup all the way to the top of the screen and then some.
Yeah, I mean, and if you go that far off stage, up top is, oh, there it is. That's a great combo from Syrup. If you can go that far off stage, up top, you're going to get a guaranteed knockout almost every time. The footstool down air, disgusting from Syrup. He is on a roll.
That down air is so lethal because it has so much KO power, but it's a literal projectile, which I don't know how the developers let that go.
No, absolutely ridiculous. Now trying to edge guard with that footstool down air some more. Went for the back air, couldn't get it to land. Now getting a little bit of space. Puts him in the minecart, tries to get a combo going, can't quite get it. Good recovery from Mario. Up to 70% now. Launched offside. Syrup trying to find that knockout move. Gets battered around, can't let himself get comboed again like last time. Some good juggling from Mario. Up to 73% now is Syrup. Now up to 90%. The knockout, no. Syrup manages to stay alive. Tries to get him again. Still manages to survive. Just right on the edge of that final stock right now is Syrup.
Great defense there. I mean, he was running for his life in the air from Mario, which is playing amazing by Doug Todd right there.
Yeah, Doug Todd has stepped his game up. Maybe he's the one getting a little hot here. Good shield. Can't quite get the combo to start.
Good player.
Looking for it. Yeah, he almost had it, but no. Doug Todd from behind. Tied things up stock-wise with Syrup. Gets the diamond tools and now just needs to finish off this stock. Can't take any chances. The down air, no! Can't get the knockout. Mining back on stage really has any hit will do here for the knockout.
What a great opening matchup for this second set. It's come down to the wire here.
Absolutely. He's got blocks all the way off stage. Manages to recover, but gets blasted off stage yet again. Puts him in the minecart. Can't quite get the knockout again. It's 160% for Mario. Oh, oh, there it is. My goodness, he's got it. The pick comes out. The knockout, and it's a 4-2 win for Syrup. Had to do it the hard way a couple times after starting off with a 0 to death, but he got the job done.
And I don't think that's speaking on Syrup played off. I think Doug Todd played a phenomenal game. You know, good players are able to always play good. Great players are able to play up a level. They're able to take that next step when they need to, and I think that's what Doug Todd did against Syrup.
Absolutely. That was a statement performance from Doug Todd, and it was a performance that, even though he didn't win the matchup, gives some momentum to the rest of his team. Because last time, getting one stock versus two stocks off of Syrup was the difference between losing and a tiebreaker.
And you look here, I mean, Syrup started off very strong here, taking full control. As we see that edge guard there, just so good. just what else is there to say? But Doug Todd came back swinging.
Yeah, that combo, a 91% knockout is absolutely wild. There's a footstool down air. I mean, nothing much you can say about that. That's some bread and butter for Syrup.
It's like I said, how is that legal? It's the only projectile move that isn't a special.
Right, and there we go. Another nearly had it there, but opted just to do things the classic way with the pick. Knocked all the way off stage. Got the fun animation too off the top.
A lot of star KOs tonight, I'm noticing, which I don't know if that makes it better for us or worse, because I really can't tell when it happens because there's no animation to cue that up.
Right, it's a little more difficult to pick it out, but I like to give a little bing sound effect when he goes off the back. That's my favorite thing to do.
I love that. I mean, I just like high energy, bang or kaboom. I like
right, of course,
big explosion noise.
Yeah, obviously, especially when it comes off the back of like a move with a big explosion on it. You know.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I love the critical hit animation because that's just iconic. You just get the whole crowd going.
You know, as soon as that happens.
Oh
and
yeah.
Not every time is it going to be a knockout, but
no.
But you know that something big is happening when that comes out.
Absolutely. Speaking of big things coming up right now, we got Sarvi versus Stitch, Luigi versus Yoshi, Jack. Oh, big one here.
Yeah, and this one didn't go Syracuse's way in the first matchup. Stitch beat Sarvi by 1 stock, so a 4-2 win for Minnesota. But Sarvi thinks that he can come back and win this game, and when he has confidence, he plays far better.
Sarvi's never been one to avoid a challenge. He loves taking these head-on personally, and he is really, obviously, it doesn't always go his way. But I think that's what the confidence says that tells this team story. It's their grit. It's their perseverance.
Absolutely. We're heading into it now. Sarvi Luigi against Yoshi, played by Stitch, excuse me. Already, I mean, these two characters, Sarvi's okay with taking some more percents early as long as he can land a couple combos later on. Loves that grab. Both around 40%. Good recovery from Sarvi, but gets knocked off the ledge by Yoshi. Even on percents now, Sarvi takes the percentage lead, knocks Yoshi off the side. Oh, but gets turned into an egg. Can he recover? Yeah, he gets the recovery. Nicely done. Up to 88% now is Stitch. Jockeying for center stage. Goes for a couple of grabs. Can't get any of them to land. Now looking for one of those patented Sarvi up Bs, patented Sarvi up smashes, to try and get that knockout. Both at 110%. A good knockout move will kill here for either one of them.
And right there, although Sarvi just got killed there, you saw him trying to get back to the edge. He didn't use a side B, which he acknowledged earlier, which I love to see that he's acknowledging his prior mistakes and improving on them.
Absolutely, and now he needs a knockout blow as soon as possible here, so he needs to get into one of those combos that he can follow up with a knockout. Otherwise, things could start to get ugly.
Yeah, no, he's got to be hunting for that up B or any kind of smash attack right now. It's non-negotiable at this point.
Tries to get the grab, can't quite get it. Goes off stage. Oh, a good kick, but no. A good recovery from Stitch to stay on stage. But there's the knockout. Gets the side kick, and things are pretty much evened up. An 11% advantage for Stitch right now. Gets a good grab. Tries to start a little combo, but can't quite get it to go. Gets another good combo going up to 62% now is Stitch. Sarvi playing him well. Hits him with a fireball. Goes for a grab. Can't get it to connect. Up to 57%. Some good juggling from Stitch.
Sarvi still yet to use that side B, which I love the restraint. I love the patience that he's giving right now.
Both around 80%. Has to use a side B here in order to get back. Can't quite get it to go, and he's just going to fall harmlessly. Oh, it was a good interception from Stitch. Up at 96%, though, and Sarvi can absolutely even this thing up.
Got to be hitting yourself a bit if you're Sarvi. Stitch played that great. Even if he had to take a little bit of percent to do it, he still got that stock.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the most important thing. Up to 119% now, though. Looking for the knockout right here on the edge, but no, it's a good juggle from Stitch. Up to 52% now is Sarvi. Now 70%. Needs to get a knockout here quickly before anything else happens, and there he goes. He gets it. He's probably got about 30% to work with before he gets it back into knockout territory, so he's got to get moving quickly.
He's got to find any kind of lifeline right now, any way to get a high percentage quick. And he's trying to get there, and I spoke too soon.
Oh, the spike comes out from Stitch, and it's a 4-2 win for Minnesota. Things are evened up at 6.
I mean, you got to take a deep breath here for everybody involved because it's a tie game with 2 games left, which is a very familiar sight we saw in set 1, where these last 2 games were honestly the deciders.
Yeah, Syracuse had a 1-point advantage heading into Game 3 in set 1, but that was only because Syrup managed to not lose an extra stock. We're going to take a look probably here in a minute at the replays from that one, but that could be that things evened up here. You've got the hot hand coming in next in Scooby as we're going to take a look real quick at the replays. There was that first knockout for Minnesota. Sarvi managed to keep things close right here. He got the knockout in just a moment. There it is. Got that side kick to knock out, but that was just incredible play from Stitch to block Sarvi, keep him off the edge, and stymie his recovery.
It's really great placing. It's really good spacing from Stitch there with Yoshi, as you saw that spike to finish it off. He was just very well spaced in that second half of that match, which paid dividends to really tie this game up and put it into another intense second half of the set.
So you've got the hot hand coming in now for Syracuse. You've got Scooby playing Mii Brawler, who had perhaps the performance of the set in set 1. And he's playing somebody who hasn't played a game yet tonight. It's Sinan playing Kazuya. So it's going to be interesting. It's a battle of hot versus, maybe cold.
Yeah, but it's hard to say that Kazuya is cold when he can kill you at 40%.
Of course. I mean, the momentum can shift in an instant when you play against a Kazuya.
And if there's, like you said, if there's one character that can absolutely detonate at any point, it's Kazuya. Although not blessed with aerial and horizontal mobility, he more than makes up for it with ground control and pure raw power.
But I mean, these are two characters who really, they play up close and personal. That's kind of the name of the game for both of them. And that was something that Scooby kind of talked about. He was like, I'm going to have to use my projectile, that shot put, which he used to great effect in round 1. You said he was Steph Curry, shooting that thing from all over the court.
Way downtown.
Absolutely. He's going to have to use that to greater effect to create distance and space and deal chip percentage throughout this one.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a hands-on-hands matchup. Literally, we're taking you essentially to the boxing ring of Super Smash Bros. Just pure, unadulterated hands are going to be thrown, which is really exciting as a broadcaster to watch. But I think it's a lot about, like you said, spacing, finding that moment where you're kind of feeling your opponent out. And if it was boxing, you're kind of just throwing some jabs, slip a bit, and find that knockout blow.
Right. Lots of shielding going to be used, trying to get some parries in, trying to get, maybe some stuns. We'll see. And then looking for that knockout blow. Scooby uses that uppercut a lot. That's one of his favorites. If he can get you into the air, he'll try and use that because it launches you so far above the stage. But he also, we're also going to see a lot of that shot put. Can you break down what we're going to see from Kazuya, though, as a main?
So as a Kazuya main, there's a lot of stun moves that Kazuya has with certain commands. He parlays that into more combos like his electric and Wind God Fist, which is a great combo material move because it stuns you in the air and lets you continue the combo. And then, of course, you can't mention Kazuya without the command grab on his down B. That is the move that will kill you at incredibly low percentages. And when that rage meter is filled, you'll see a little red bar above Kazuya's name. And that means he's ready to deal big damage with that command grab. So Scooby's got to stay away from that if he wants a chance to win.
Right, that's when we'll probably see Scooby take a step back, use that very agile, I would say, Mii Brawlers. I feel like Mii Brawler gets the ability to move around the stage fairly evenly, especially we talked about that lateral movement with the moveset that he's chosen. So that's when we're going to probably see Scooby take a step back, use that shot put a little bit more, deal chip damage while waiting for that to go away.
While the power battle definitely favors Kazuya, I got to tell, like you said, I think the mobility definitely favors Scooby and Mii Brawler. So it's going to come down to who makes better strengths and can cover their weaknesses better.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. That's going to have to be the mantra for Scooby today, whereas Sinam is going to really be trying to deal those haymakers one at a time.
We're playing it up like a boxing match. Why not? I loved seeing this. This is going to be a fun match, folks. And I'm really going to be curious to see how Sinam plays, because apparently Sarvi said it is his second main, not Sora.
Yeah, that Sora, a ranged character, versus Sinam, versus Kazuya, obviously not. Starting things off right now, they're already throwing punches, and already up to 39% is Scooby, now up to 56%. Wow, I mean, this has been heavyweight already. Kazuya throwing big jabs. Scooby getting in there though, gets a little combo going. Up to 34% now is Kazuya. He needed that one. Now up to 48%. It was a good read from Scooby. Another good read. Gets that uppercut going. Oh, can't quite get it. Now gets the suplex. Up to 89% is Kazuya, and Scooby is playing really strong so far. Now up to 72% is Kazuya, but it was a good dodge, and into the uppercut. Bing! Into that back. Wow. Gets the knockout already, and Scooby is playing the games of his life tonight.
And hands are being thrown, and it's close combat at its finest. This has been already a high-energy start to this matchup.
It's another suplex there from Scooby. Yeah, they're both kind of waiting and feeling each other out. Up to 49% on that second stock is Kazuya. Gets a big jab on Scooby there. Gets the parry, but no, can't quite get anything else. Tosses a shot put off stage, which he gets to connect. Now up to 63% is Kazuya. Gets another suplex, and he has been using that to great effect. Tosses a shot put, can't quite get it to go. Comes in with the kick. Another shot put, no, doesn't connect. On that left side is Kazuya, kind of waiting out, trying to feel out Scooby a little bit more. But Scooby being about as aggressive as he can be and he needs to be, and it's worked in his favor. 116 now, 131% on that second stock is Kazuya. Gets a shot put to land, tries another one, no, can't quite get it to go. But in the knockout zone again is Kazuya. Just needs one hit, really. 100% now is Scooby, and gets the knockout. Scooby has a 2-stock lead on Phenom right now.
And I don't think Hot Hand does it justice. Scooby is playing with I don't even think the season, I think he's playing with just pure focus. He's in the zone right now.
He's out of his mind. He's been absolutely incredible tonight. It was a good grab and a good slam from Kazuya there. Up to 128% is Scooby. That could be the knockout. No, manages to stay alive. Tosses a couple shot puts, gets himself a little bit of zone, a little bit of stage control, manages to get back on stage. Up at 149%, gets the suplex, and he's looking for the 3-stock here. Gets a kick up to 97%. Shot put lands. Tries to get another one. No, can't get it to go. There's the beam. Up to 162%. The knockout blow for either character could come at any point. Tosses a couple. Can't get either of them to land. Oh, and there's the knockout finally. Couldn't get the 3-stock, but still really can finish this thing at just about any point.
The power of Kazuya was too much there, but the job is almost done. With that 138%, it's not sitting pretty for Phenom.
No, and Scooby just needs really one more big hit. Got another one there. The uppercut, the knockout. Scooby comes in big for Syracuse. It's a 2-stock win for the Orange. It's a 4-1 victory. Syracuse up 10-7 heading into the finale.
And that's more than a 10 count. He is down. He is out. Scooby, you are playing amazing tonight.
Scooby has had the performance of the set so far in both sets for SU. He is out of his gourd tonight. He has been incredible. You can see Sarvi out there hyping him up. And boy, I am excited to take a look at these replays because he was locked in.
The power of Kazuya did not phase Scooby as he just went in guns a-blazing and just took it out on Kazuya.
I mean, it was incredible. He was using that suplex constantly throughout the match, and it was working, and he was getting great stage control, great value out of his shot put. That was working as well. Just everything happened exactly the way that he wanted to. I mean, he made that stock last for so long, and there was the final blow. But we've got one more matchup here. And if you think back to last time, it was 10-7 as well headed into the finale. And what Syracuse needed to win was a 1-stock loss or better. So a 1-stock loss or any form of win wins Syracuse the game. It's going to be the same here. A 2-stock loss sends things to a death match, excuse me. So that'll be probably, syrup against somebody. And then if Syracuse gets swept, then Minnesota will win and force set 3.
And that brings up a lot of scenarios, but more often than not, they are favoring Syracuse because of the performance so far across the board, putting the maximum amount of points that you can get outside of one win, which is just a testament to the balance of this team. And I love that Scooby is the one to step up tonight. We've mentioned all season and how Syrup is the headliner, but there's so many players that can pop off on any given night.
And we're seeing that tonight. We're seeing that tonight with Scooby. Syrup has done his job. He's done exactly what he needs to as the headliner of this team. But you need somebody else to step up. That's the nature of the format. And tonight it has been Scooby. Looking ahead to this last matchup, though, it's Milsharks playing King K. Rool and Grizzhawk playing Bowser Jr. We saw this matchup in round 1. It was a 4-2 win for Minnesota. That same result would give Syracuse the sweep here.
And I got to say, in that first matchup, Milsharks, the pacing and the spacing was a little bit off. That's what costed him. And now I think, okay, he's settled in. He knows this Bowser Jr. that Grizzhawks plays likes to be up close and personal despite having many ranged options. So I think that could see a bit of a change in his play style. And
if he can avoid that exploding cart, that would be ideal.
The exploding cart has proven to be very lethal, as the name suggests.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it is. Yeah, exactly. It's an exploding cart. Like that's not ideal.
I mean, it makes sense. It would knock you out.
Right, and it knocked him out 3 times last time. So if he can avoid that, even once, that would give him a huge advantage.
Absolutely. That takes off his stock, as we said. But we're not here to talk about hypotheticals. We're here to talk about what's going to happen right now. And I think that it all boils down to K. Rool getting up close and personal and really facing Bowser Jr. head on.
Yeah, if he can get, he had those smashes into the ground in that first match. If he can get a couple of those, that's going to be a move that he can really look to do well with. He had one where I think he might have misinputted. That's what your theory was. So if he can avoid that, it puts him in a good position.
Absolutely, and it boils down to, once again, K. Rool having phenomenal grab options for every side, but that down B is one of the unique ones that gets the planted status where you're in the ground and you got to press a few buttons to really get out, and that stun is huge in this kind of a play.
Right, and even the first time that he got it, he got a hit while Grizzhawk was in the ground, and then also read him coming out of it. So there was a jump out of it, and he saw it, and he said, all right, I can get the knockout right here. It was one of his 2 knockouts last time. We're getting into it now, though. It all comes down to this. If Syracuse can get a 1-stock loss or better, they will get the sweep and claim the 3 seed. Otherwise, we will head to either a tiebreaker matchup or a set 3.
And the stakes have been set. The stage is here. Now all there is the performance.
Yeah, already some really, really good moves from Grizzhawk. Already up to 74% is Milsharks, but got a good grab there. Oh, went for the belly slam. Couldn't quite get it to go. Went for it again. Couldn't get it there either. A good recovery, or good response, excuse me, from Grizzhawk. Uses that propeller hat to get all the way back up to the top. Out comes the wind-up toy. No, couldn't get it to go. 115% already is Milsharks, but I mean a heavy character he's got. So really, there's the exploding cart that comes out. Couldn't get it to land though.
And Milsharks is a lot more wary of that exploding cart. He's yet to be hit by it, which I think proves that they are taking notes back there, believe it or not.
Right, he knows it's coming. He knows it's the favored knockout move, and gonna try and go for it there again. No, couldn't get it to go. Gets a grab. Gets smashed into the ground. Can he get the knockout? No, couldn't quite get it. Up to 95%, though, is Grizzhawk. And for being up at a pretty high percent very early in this stock, Milsharks has come way back, but gets knocked out there.
And the exploding cart proving very effective once again. Just really great edge guarding tool as we've seen so far.
Gets the grab. Needs a knockout here. Can he get it? No, not quite. Up to 140% is Bowser Jr. Oh, couldn't get it there. Couldn't get a grab there. Now shielding at center stage. Tosses the crown off to the side. They're once again jockeying, and Grizzhawk is doing a good job of using this stock heavily. Already up to 77% on the second stock is Milsharks, but gets the knockout there and has to get right to work on the second stock.
And that's big right there. Putting that stock in really just separates from needing that third set right off the bat. Now, at worst, Syracuse settles for a tiebreak.
Right, and now Syracuse has confirmed the tiebreaker, but if Milsharks can get one more set, it's going to be a sweep for Syracuse. Gets the grab, launches Grizzhawk into the air, but can't get anything more off it. 38% and gets knocked out. So with 1 stock left, all Milsharks has to do is win 1 more stock, and if he gets knocked out, we'll head to a tiebreaker.
And it's getting very close, very similar percents here, so Milsharks got some work ahead of him if he wants to settle this here. Now,
No, he gets knocked out. And it's a 4-1 win for Minnesota, and we are going to head to a tiebreaker to decide whether Syracuse sweeps or we head to set 3.
And I honestly thought that last KO was one of the most beautiful KOs we're going to see all night. It was almost like an alley-oop from the car right into that back air, I believe. That's not easy to do, folks.
It was incredibly technical. Now, we have an idea of who Syracuse is going to send out for this final matchup. You know, we've got an inkling.
If I'm a betting man, it's only one.
There is a number one player in the United States on the Syracuse team who they might want to consider putting out there. But we really don't know. Syrup has gotten the best of Doug Todd twice, but it got closer in that second matchup. So they might send out Doug Todd again in the hopes that he can make something special happen, or it might be something different.
My guess is the name is probably going to be Grizzhawks is my guess. He's played a great 2 games so far. He's played very competitive with Mill Sharks. And, I mean, you saw it right there. He's got very good control of his character. He knows what he's doing.
He does, and he's going to cause some spacing issues for Syracuse. With for Steve, because Steve needs space in order to play well, in order to mine, in order to get diamond, get into that advantage state, and I think there's something to be said for Bowser Jr. Closing that gap.
It's really impressive for a character. I feel like you don't see that much right there, and you got to see what happens now.
We did just get confirmation that it will be Syrup going in the tiebreaker.
You don't say.
Shocker.
You don't say.
An absolute shocker.
Couldn't have seen that one coming. Not at all.
Of course not. No, but we still don't know who it'll be for Minnesota. We'll find out closer to game time or when we hop into the game. You think it'll be Grizzhawk. I think they'll send Doug Todd back out again. He played so much better in that second game against Syrup. Had him on the ropes, was comboing, juggling him all over the stage. So I don't know. I think there's something to be said for Doug Todd coming out here.
I can't argue that. I mean, both very good options, but who knows? We might see a third option that we haven't even discussed yet. It's very even across the board, I think, from this Minnesota team.
Right. Stitch has won both of his matches. Piranha Plant played decent in the first one. For Sriracha, played pretty decent as Piranha Plant in the first game, but I think it's going to be one of those two. I think you could see Stitch, but I think it's more likely that it's one of Grizzhawk or Doug Todd.
Agreed, and it's now just a waiting game to see what happens, and a lot of intensity on this night. I mean, you can't write it up better than this.
Yeah, I mean, for the 3 seed to avoid playing Michigan State in the semis, this is exactly the kind of matchup that you want. This is high octane, talented players on both teams. Minnesota has such a stacked roster from top to bottom. There's not a weak point. I mean, it's just incredible.
Not at all. And I mean, here's the thing. If Syracuse does get this win in this tiebreak, that means they're going to have to get a run back against this squad.
Right, and they feel confident if they should sweep here that they've already beaten them. So we do see Doug Todd playing Mario against Syrup playing Steve. So it's a rematch of both of the opening matches of the first 2 sets. Syrup looking to play a little better than he did last time, but of course all that matters here is getting the win.
I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality has gone out the door for Minnesota, but I like it. I love the competitive spirit these two have brought out, and it should be a fun matchup again.
And Syrup already getting battered around here early on, gets up to Stone Tools. He needs to start getting a combo going, but Mario causing issues with the way that he's just jumping all around the stage. Oh, that's a good back air. Oh, but managed to recover from that. 33% for Doug Todd. Syrup at 64%. Looking for a combo. Hasn't gotten it started just yet. Up to 78%. Oh, there he goes, though. There's that combo that he loves. Up to 68% now. Blocks the fireball with the back air. Now looking to space a little bit more. He doesn't have any sort of upgraded tools yet. Gets gold there. We'll see if he chooses to upgrade it. Doesn't get it quite yet. Managed to get a nice shield there. Gets the parry. Goes for the combo, but Mario got out of the way of it. Nearly got a knockout there. Up to 117% is Syrup. 102% is Doug Todd.
And you got to think maybe that Doug Todd has cracked the veil of immortality that Syrup has crafted, as you see right there.
Doug Todd takes a 1-stock lead over Syrup. Gets the down air to even things back up. And he's got diamond tools, so he's certainly in a more advantaged state than last time. But for a moment there, Doug Todd had Syrup looking mortal.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't say it better than that. We have built Syrup up as a final boss with his own theme music. And right now, he's looking fairly normal, like you said.
And that's you just got to give credit to Doug Todd. He's been absolutely fantastic today. Oh, Syrup gets a couple of big hits there. Those diamond tools dealing extra percent and knockback up to 62%. Oh, the back air to 77. Now looking for another combo starter. He probably needs one more combo before he can really get into that knockout zone. The back air, though, is just as good as a combo. 96% now for Doug Todd. Goes for the down air, doesn't get it to connect. The back air connects, though, up to 116%. Syrup looking for the knockout blow. Goes for the down air, doesn't get it. Maybe he'll get a down air off here, but no. And the spin, oh, nearly knocked out. We had the animation, but couldn't get it to go. Into the minecart, gets him in the magma cube. The knockout! Syrup takes the lead at 82% on his second stock.
What a prediction from the cart. I have no idea where Doug Todd's going. He shows up, and he got it correct with flying colors. And that's a 2-to-1 stock lead here.
Gotta make the most of this stock now, though. He's at 100%. Oh, gets the combo going. Ends it in the back air. Up to 48% is Doug Todd. Gets a big hit there. Up to 119% is Syrup. Uses the Elytra to get back on stage. Builds himself a wall. Gets some materials back. Builds himself another wall. Gets more materials. He's really just trying to space as far as he can right now. They're back in that middle. Goes for the grab. Doesn't get it to go. The blocks on the other side keep him from being knocked off stage, but a good smash attack from Mario. Using that water fountain really well all day against Syrup. It's really just been closing the gap. Use the Elytra to get back on stage, but the knockout, and we're even on stocks heading into the final one.
And it's just coming down to here. Comes down to the wire for this second set. With so much on the line, there's so much pressure, but these two are delivering on both ends.
Syrup has 55%. Or excuse me, Doug Todd has 90%. Syrup at just 7. Syrup with the advantage right now, but it's some good comboing from Doug Todd early on. Up to 100% now. Syrup looking to mine a little bit more, but he's got those gold tools. He's already slightly advantaged. Crafts more gold, got diamond, he's got diamond tools. Up at 100% now is Doug Todd. Still looking for a way to break through those walls. Syrup is not letting him through.
That's incredible. I mean, has barely touched him with just fireballs alone. That is how good he's with those blocks. Those blocks serve a purpose regardless.
Get the minecart up to 112% now is Doug Todd looking for that knockout blow. We'll see if he can get it here. Went for the footstool down air, didn't get it. Left himself vulnerable to juggling, but managed to get back on stage. Doug Todd with some good comboing. Can he get the knockout? The knockout blow! Doug Todd with the upset over Syrup, and we are headed to set 3.
I'm speechless. We have just seen an immortal be brought down to earth. That was incredibly played by Doug. You said he was slowly inching, slowly creeping, and now he finally got it.
And it's a result that we never would have expected going into that finale. And Doug Todd upset Syrup. When he was up at 112%, Syrup got diamond tools only at 30%. I thought that was wraps. But Doug Todd battled all the way back and managed to get the knockout.
That was a recipe for success. It's just, once again, I feel like Syrup didn't make any mistakes. That just spoke to how good Doug Todd was.
Yeah, there was one. He went for a footstool down air on that right side, and Doug Todd took advantage and just comboed from there on out. Taking a look at the replays now, I mean, that was good. That got him in the right spot for that magma cube later.
It was just back and forth the whole time. It was really just an intense clash of titans almost.
Absolutely. There you go. That's that was that final knockout. But I mean, an incredible performance from Doug Todd to force set 3. We've got to draft one last time. We'll be right back. It's been a night of high-octane Super Smash Bros. And at the end of it all, Minnesota forced set 3 with an incredible upset win. Doug Todd upsets the #1 player in America, Syrup, to force a third set and to give Minnesota a chance to force Syracuse into the 4th seed in Vegas.
You said it right there. That second set was truly incredible to see, going down to that tiebreak when Minnesota only had a very small chance to even get there, and they took care of what they needed to. And of course, as you mentioned, Doug Todd pulling off the upset of arguably the year right there in the clutch.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it was something that neither of us saw coming, and it came out of nowhere absolutely for Syracuse. Oh, we're going to head into matches already. I was going to give you guys a quick recap of the first two, but no, we're starting off a matchup we've seen 3 times already. Syrup Steve against Doug Todd Mario, coming in right now.
Almost, it's like the God Slayer coming back into action. Doug Todd, Syrup got to try to get back into what worked in that first set.
Yeah, even the second set was real tight between the two of them. Already up to 70% is Syrup, gets spiked off the side, needs to recover, gets the recovery there, back up onto stage and gets a nice combo going already. Tries to get the down air, can't quite get it to go. Up to 99% already is Syrup and nearly gets knocked out immediately. Doug Todd has just been absolutely dominating him tonight.
He came to play, man. I mean, you're looking at this. This is not a guy who's thinking I'm playing one of the best players in the world. This is a guy saying, I want to win.
Absolutely. Syrup getting jockeyed around that right side up to 140%. Hasn't really been able to get inside and touch Doug Todd at all. Got gold tools now, looking to mine a little bit more. Mining on that left side. Doug Todd charging up that water cannon. Syrup's got diamond, may opt to save it for his second stock already, if that's what we're thinking about.
The materials looking very low there for Syrup. He's going to have to get it, but after that smash, see ya later, Doug Todd.
Yeah, that magma cube coming in clutch. He doesn't hit that often, but he's hit it twice today against Doug Todd. Maybe it's something that he knows Doug Todd is a little bit more vulnerable to, and that's a huge knockout, and he's making the most of this 150% on his third stock. Already up to 63% is Doug Todd. Syrup mining more on that left side. Barely has any materials at all. Crafts diamond tools, though. Now he's mining back up. He's got a lot of materials now to work with. Tries the minecart, can't quite get it to go. Tries the down air, can't get that to go either. Gets blasted off by that water bottle, but he is settling into a groove now.
And that material is looking very low, but fortunately he gets a reset here with 83% on Doug Todd stock, and I stand corrected, Magma Cube #2, baby.
He is locked in with that Magma Cube tonight. Got diamond tools. Now he's mining off to that right side, getting his materials back up for one final push. Going to try and get a 2-stock win here.
And push he absolutely does. He cannot afford this to get to a 1-1 again because it's so much pressure. It doesn't matter who you are.
Up to 45% now is Doug Todd. Jockeying in that center stage. Doug Todd combos Syrup all the way across to the right side. Now back over to the left. Gets the footstool down air though. Syrup looking for a back air, can't get it there.
Really
now getting jockeyed up in the air.
Really was fishing for it there. Maybe we can get some kind of smash coming soon, but the materials are definitely better managed so far, but the percent is very high, Jack.
Yeah, up to 109%. Syrup now gets the minecart rolled across the stage. The back air, the knockout. Syrup calls game, redemption.
And he is back and better than ever. A little bit of a hiccup at the start there, but no, Syrup proved who he is right there. That was an emphatic win and meant a lot there.
It's a 4-1 win for Syracuse. The first set started off with a 4-1 win as well, and that brought Syracuse their win of the night.
That was the cushion that the squad needed, but I don't know when it comes down to this final set. I don't think cushions exist. I think you got to think match-by-match basis until you get to that point.
Of course. I mean, that was vintage Syrup, though. He brought it back, Even Coach Bear said, he didn't play at his best in that tiebreaker. He was not, he wasn't quite clicking. There, he was back to clicking the way that he should.
Absolutely. As you take a look here at the replays, that Magma Cube first one, just so great. Just hits you like a truck there. I mean, granted, it's a lava cube.
Right, and he got it on the second one as well. There's the first knockout, though, for Doug Todd, but he got it on the second one immediately after getting knocked out. There's like a 10-second difference in between them. And then here was the last one. I mean, his bread and butter for the knockout.
That step stool right into a forward smash, just light it up. But Syrup got the job done, and that's all. We got to move on because you can't afford to take back at what worked right there when you got this much on the line.
Yeah, so next up, we've got a matchup that we haven't seen yet tonight. We've got Sinam playing Sora instead of Kazuya, so that's a change up. Sora is Sinam's main, so we'll see Sinam looking probably a little bit more comfortable than they did as Kazuya. And we've got Sarvi playing Luigi. It was a matchup that he wasn't quite sure about, but he said, you can put me into anything. He's just going to have to really think on this one.
Yeah, it definitely comes down to playing completely different because now you're playing Sora, who's amazing at projectiles, which I find funny because Kazuya was the DLC character released before Sora. And now we're going from incredibly up-close personal to very range. So maybe that adjustment could be too much for Sinam. But Sarvi, he hasn't gotten a dub tonight. But tonight, all that matters is that you show up when you need to.
And he has shown up. He showed up in that first set. Despite not winning, he got the required amount of stocks to give Syracuse the win in set one. So that was really all that mattered there. All that matters here, get as many stocks as you can off of Sinam. Put your team in the best position to win.
Definitely, because, look, I'm looking ahead, obviously, but after that we have Scooby versus Stitch, and Scooby's been unstoppable today.
Lights out.
Legitimately, he's shooting like Steph Curry from way downtown. He's looking unstoppable today.
And then after that, you've got Grizzhawk playing Bowser Jr. and Drew, who we haven't seen for Syracuse yet, playing Joker. So they were worried he might have been a little cold, but they got him warmed up. So he'll come in against Grizzhawk. He hasn't seen Grizzhawk yet tonight. That's been all Sarvi so far.
And Sarvi talked about how unconventional of a Yoshi that Stitch plays. That it's not like Talia, he said. So all that practice, it kind of went out of the door.
Right, yeah, that was something that we had mentioned on the broadcast, but Sarvi came in and said it's completely different. They're completely different styles of play.
And I find that really incredible when you're playing the same character with the same moves. It's not like a Mii situation where, okay, there's a different move here or there. No, it is the same thing, which really it shows the level of everybody where those slight tweaks make a big difference.
It also shows, the versatility of Smash as a game and the ability to, kind of make it your own. Even though you're playing the same character as another high-level player, even at this pro level, you're still doing it differently.
And that's what separates Smash from other fighting games. It's not very formulaic. It's very free-flowing. There's a lot of leniency to your combos, unlike most fighting games, and I think that's what makes it shine, is its unique own thing.
Absolutely. Completely agree with you on that front. But focusing now back in, Sarvi Luigi, Sinam Sora, what's the keys to this game for Sarvi? Because this is not really an ideal matchup, I'd say.
I would say the keys to this game is two things. It would be stay up and close and personal to Sora, and when Sora does take to the air, you got to pound him because he's a very floaty character in the air. His double jump kind of hesitates for a sec before floating up, and that's a lot of punishable windows there. So Sarvi's got to make use of those.
And Sarvi lives to punish as a player. He lives in that space where if you make one mistake, he can light you up with a combo. That's Luigi's bread and butter. That's the name of the game for Luigi, is lighting his opponents up with those combos.
Definitely. And I mean, Sora just so mobile in the air, which I think Sarvi just can't afford to really think about. I just think he needs to find a window in the air where he can hit that up B and send Sora back to the moon.
Right. I mean, this is probably, if Syracuse can build on that momentum that Syrup just gave them, then they probably soar to the end of this matchup. If Sarvi can pick up a win here for Syracuse, yes, so many S's. If Sarvi can pick up a win here for Syracuse, that bodes very well.
Absolutely. You go right into the hot hand of the night, Scooby. I mean, I could argue Doug Todd also, but I think he just got doused a bit there by Syrup. Scooby's been looking great, as I've said. I mean, he's hit more shot puts than I've seen any time that I've ever watched him play, which is incredible. But it all boils down to Sarvi not playing with any nerves, which I know is a very tall task to ask, but you just got to throw it out the window and focus on the matchup at hand.
Yeah, that's something that we've talked about all season with Sarvi. When he is locked in and playing the game that he wants to play, and he's confident, he plays a lot better.
Absolutely. I mean, his warm-up song, Armed and Dangerous, and he's got to come in guns a-blazing into this matchup.
Yeah, he said that one, or there are a couple of other songs that he enjoys listening to. We're getting into it now, though. Sarvi playing Luigi, Sinan playing Sora. Sora, an incredibly complex character. We're going to see how Sarvi can handle it with Luigi, who's a bit more meat and potatoes.
And as you'd see above Sora, that's what his neutral B is going to be. He has a projectile, which is that Fire Aga, that Thunder Aga, which extends so far, and that Freeze, which stuns. So Sarvi's going to have to keep in mind which one is going to be used.
I mean, Sarvi doesn't really care. He's just going to hit you hard and hit you fast. And a quick spike puts Sarvi up only 25% on the day, and he just absolutely dominated.
And guns a-blazing, he came out. That is the way you want to start it.
Sarvi, now they're kind of trading projectiles here. Out comes the Thundaga. Now into the Blizzaga, but can't get it to go on Sarvi. Jockeying in the middle. Can't let Sarvi get up close and personal. He will deal quick percents on you. And tried to get a combo going there, but no, couldn't get it to go.
And I love to try. And the Sora counter, very, very good. Reflects both projectiles and melee attacks, which is a great counter to have in a game with many counters like you just saw. That was disgusting.
My goodness, just an absolute blast. Looked like Aaron Judge winding up to smack a baseball out of the sky, although he hasn't done that so far this season. But a good combo there from Sarvi, up to 104% now, is Sinan, and Sarvi gets the knockout. He's still only on very low percents on that second stock, and he is carrying that momentum forward.
And he can't get too excited, because you got to remember, you got to close it out in a matchup like this right now.
Tries to get a combo going, but can't quite get it to follow through. Sarvi looks for a smash attack, can't get it, and gets that targeting attack, which is just absolutely disgusting. Now deals gets a good combo going there again, up to 67, now 77% goes Sinan.
You got to try to punish that Sonic trifecta there, that move where it's just auto-targeted, but you can't get out of it.
Up to 112% now is Sinan. Sarvi looking for that knockout blow, up to 78% on the second stock. The sidekick, the knockout. Sarvi comes through for SU. The leader of the team gets a 4-1 win. Syracuse is on top 8-2.
I was not familiar with your game, Sarvi. He just feinted the chop off the stage into that drop kick to bait out that counter to punish. That was absolutely perfect punish play by Sarvi.
And now it all comes down to Scooby. If Scooby can win this matchup, Syracuse secures game set 3.
And that is the type of cushion you want. That is the type of thing you want to give right into your hot hand as we look at these replays.
Yeah, I mean, it was just dominance from Sarvi. Sure, he lost one stock, but he started things out so quickly. That spike off the side, it was an absolutely fantastic counter there from Sinan, but from then on out, it was all Sarvi. Got one there, and then made the most of that last stock. And there we go. You see that combo there. That was one that really turned the tide. Went off stage for that final knockout, too. Just absolutely incredible.
And you saw right there, the chop just not long enough to get that counter and knock Sarvi off. Instead, he was able to counter that counter into a dub for Syracuse to put them up 8-2.
It's a big lead, and while it is one that can't evaporate, you know, if there's a sweep somewhere in here, Syracuse looks on the ropes, but you've got your hot hand coming in here. Scooby playing Mii Brawler against Stitch playing Yoshi, and now Stitch so far this game has played against Sarvi twice, so familiar with the last opponent, but Scooby has been on another level today. Scooby has been using especially that shot put to great effect, has been creating a lot of space with it and then getting up close and personal when he needs to.
He's also been channeling a little bit of Brock Lesnar with Suplex City coming in that second set, just throwing all of his opponents around to pair with that shot put. He has been lethal from that mid to close distance today.
And, you know, I kind of feel like these two characters, they have some similarities. They have one arcing projectile attack that is really their only use of spacing, their only way to create space. And then there's good juggleability if you can get your opponent in the air for both of these characters.
Absolutely. But the difference lies in where their strengths are, because Mii Brawler thrives on the ground and getting those combos quick to eventually juggle you into that uppercut. Yoshi loves to be in the air, just air juggle, boom. So I think it's going to be very interesting because Scooby's going to have to keep Stitch grounded, kind of plant his feet to the ground, make sure he can't get anything up in the air.
Right, that's what we're going to be that's what we're going to be looking for in this next matchup. If Scooby can win it, then Syracuse takes set 3, takes the 3rd seed for Vegas. It's a lot of pressure to put on somebody's shoulders.
It's a lot of pressure, but if there's anybody you're feeding that pressure to tonight, believe it or not, it's Scooby. And I don't think I would be able to tell you that going into tonight.
Here's the thing. Scooby has always been a cool, calm, and collected head. He's always, he's a chill guy. I mean, he's been in here. He's broadcasted a game of Smash with me before. So he's always been somebody who thrives under pressure. But he's been playing out of his mind better than I've ever seen him tonight. And so I think that's the difference.
And he can't let that psych him out that he's on. I think he has to just treat this like any other match and just kind of reset and just go with what's been working tonight because it certainly has been working, Jack.
Yeah, it's been it's the suplex. That's been the main thing for him. It's the shot put. He's been creating a lot of space with that. Those are the 2 moves that you're really going to want to look for Scooby. But we're getting into it now. Syracuse with an opportunity to seal this thing right now. Here we go.
And it all rests on Scooby's shoulders right now. I hate to say it, but right now they got a chance to take it home.
And he's already starting out hot. Gets a couple of combo moves off quick. Up to 51% already is Stitch. Now 65. Scooby took a couple hits in there. It was good field spacing there from Stitch. But Scooby got things going yet again. Look for the uppercut to seal things off, but couldn't quite get it. Goes to the shot put now off stage. Gets one to land. Trying to get another one. No, they're trading shot puts and eggs. Gets the shot put to land right before he got back on stage. Unable to recover his Stitch. And Scooby takes stock 1 with ease.
Scooby was in here saying, I don't get kills with the shot put. He just did there. Granted, it wasn't a knockout, but it just got the job done.
And that's the most important thing, especially for an edge guarding tool like that. There he's using it to space the field a little bit. Gets an uppercut going right there. Up to 59% is Stitch. Scooby kind of jockeying off that side stage. They're trading projectiles now. None of them can get a hit in. Up above Yoshi. That's a dangerous place to be. Stitch just stopped moving there for a minute. Allowed Scooby to get a free hit in. Up to 107% now is Scooby.
You would think that was almost like a connection issue, but it's very much not, as you can see him moving around a lot. So
yeah, it was interesting. Scooby gets his 2nd knockout and is in a position to seal things for Syracuse here with ease.
It's getting there. I mean, Scooby is playing very, very good neutral game right here, keeping full control as he does it.
And I don't know what happened there for Stitch. Just kind of fell off the side, felt like an SD, but Scooby 3 stocks. It's a 12-2 lead for Syracuse, and Syracuse has sealed the 3 seed for Vegas.
I mean, granted, probably a little anticlimactic, but who cares? The job has been done. Syracuse is the 3rd seed and is going to get another crack at this Minnesota team, assuming all goes as planned.
Yeah, if everything goes chalk, Syracuse will get to play Minnesota again in the semifinals, the 2 versus 3 seed for this Smash bracket.
And that's got to be exciting, seeing the way it played out tonight right there. As we look at the recap there, as Scooby just had full control of this match from opening gate to the finish.
Yeah, I mean, that shot put was being put to such effect by him. There was the 2nd one, and then this 3rd one, it looked like he just missed the grab on the edge, and that was it. Maybe an unfortunately timed air dodge that just kind of put him out of it. I don't know.
I really don't know. A lot of question marks from Stitch there. I mean, the standing still point, there was a lot of suspect play, you could say, but it doesn't matter. Syracuse is moving on.
And we still got one more match to cover. Of course, it's Drew playing Joker against Grizzhawk, playing Bowser Jr. Drew looking for some reps before they head out to Vegas. These reps are all important. You get yourself in the competition mindset. If you're going to play this team again, you see how you fare against one of their better players. But Syracuse has done the job tonight.
And Drew, I gotta say, one of my favorite rising stars on this team playing Joker. He's played some other characters like Byleth in the past, But I love the way that he really adapts. I would say he's one of the most adaptable members on this team who can really handle almost any situation you throw at him.
And another player on this roster who has just improved tenfold this season, who has just gotten better and better and has started going up against harder and harder opponents and winning those matches.
And that's all you can ask from somebody like Drew. I mean, he's stepped up in more ways than one. And the evaluation tools, obviously, they don't come in there. The intangibles are certainly there for Drew. He's a guy who's got a very competitive spirit, a guy who says, okay, if you took this off me, I'm going to get it back in blood.
Yeah, and he wanted to come in and get some reps today. He said he was ready to play anybody. So I'm excited to see what he can do here against one of the better players on this Minnesota team.
Grizzhawk has been all over the stat sheet tonight, scoring a lot of stocks. And I believe he won one of these games. Was it the second set, I believe?
I can check for you right now. He won Grizzhawk. He has won both of his sets against King K. Rool.
Right? No, that was, geez, I'm blanking here.
No, it was against Mill Sharks.
It's been a long 3 sets, I got to say, nonstop action.
It's a lot of Smash. It's a lot of Smash for one night.
I mean, we've played well over probably 30 games of Smash now at this point. So it's got to be an intense game, and I want an intense way to finish, although it's not going to count for much on the final.
But yeah, in set 2, Grizzhawk dominated Mill Sharks to force that overtime game, which Doug Todd ended up upsetting Syrupin to force set 3.
You got to think maybe it takes a little bit of wind out of his sails, Grizzhawk going into this, knowing that he's playing for reps at this point. But, I mean, it doesn't take away from what he's done tonight.
No, it's the competitive spirit. You want to go and you want to win as many games as you can, and this is no exception.
And I love how esports and Smash are not like normal sports, where if a normal sport, like, say, like a basketball or a soccer saw this, they would say, no, we're not playing. We need to sit people to conserve them instead of getting injured. No. In esports, you play out that final match. You want that competition. You want those reps.
Absolutely, and he's going to get him right now against Grizzhawk. We're getting into it in just a moment. Here we go. The final matchup for tonight. Syracuse looking to put the cherry on top of what has been an incredibly successful evening, and it'll be Drew to do it.
And you got to say, I'd love it no better way. You got to see one of the hottest Minnesota players against a fresh face for Syracuse.
Absolutely, Artie. Just took a light hit up to 8% now. Good parry there into a good grab by Grizzhawk. Grizzhawk playing very well so far. Juggling Drew up into the air up to 60% now. 15% is Grizzhawk. Up to 83%, wow. But into that Arsene form, which will give him an advantage.
To go along with a lot of improvement on his specials. He gets a lot of follow-ups on his normal, which adds to his KO power.
Up to 50% now. That Arsene form is already putting in some work. But wow, knocked out in the Arsene is Drew. And still only at 50% is Grizzhawk. So Grizzhawk showing his skill. Already even things back up. A great combo up to 67% now is Drew into the Arsene form, though.
That clown car explosion into that back air combo is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, and it has been lethal so far tonight.
Absolutely. Drew kind of floundering a little bit, but got Grizzhawk up to 95% and can look for the knockout blow now.
And he's really hunting for it. I mean, that Arsene form is nearly out because you got to just get that as much as possible as Joker.
There goes the Arsene form, but up to 142% is Grizzhawk. Looking for the knockout blow, even not in that Arsene form. He can find it here, going off stage a little bit. There goes a big shot put. Can't get it to connect. Up into the middle, and wow, a low percentage knockout for Grizzhawk on Drew. And only one stock left for Drew now.
And I know this game doesn't count, but you gotta stay locked in. I mean, you don't want to end the night on a sour note, do you?
Yeah, right. I mean, you want to take as many stocks as possible. Looking to get one here. Up to 200% is Grizzhawk. No idea how he's maintaining his life at this point, but it's impressive work from him. There's the knockout. Gets at least one stock. We'll see if he can get any more.
Gotta say, that longevity was impressive from a character who definitely is not classified as a heavy character.
Oh, definitely on the lighter side, like mid to light, is Bowser Jr.
I mean, it's a child turtle in a car. I don't see how heavy that can get outside of the car.
Of course. I mean, Bowser's a heavy guy, so, you know, it is his kin, so you never know, but I would agree with you. Up to 70% now is Grizzhawk. Drew making things interesting into the Arsene form. Recovers there, waits a sec off the edge, back on, deals a couple more percents with the guns. Oh, there's the bomb. Oh, read it perfectly. And Grizzhawk is going to get some consolation for Minnesota, but it's a 14-6 win for Syracuse in set 3. Syracuse gets the job done, takes the 3rd seed in Vegas, and if all goes well, these two teams will face again in the semifinals in Las Vegas.
And you can't ask for anything better. As we look at the replays of that match, the clown car explosion is something that has been a very big constant tonight. As we see one KO at the start, and then, first of all, Drew, great dash attack there. And then we see this. The clown car bomb into the back air. It's been incredible so far. But the bottom line is, Syracuse is the number 3 seed.
And before we get ready to wrap up Smash shows for the semester, I just want to give a couple thanks. It's been my 3rd semester casting Smash here at Syracuse. I want to thank you, Ryan, for being on with me tonight. I want to thank everybody in the prod booth and everything that they've done for us. I want to thank Sean Kelly. I want to thank Joey Gariziak. I want to thank the coach of the team, Coach Bear. I want to thank Rowan, who was on many of the shows with me. I want to thank Zach, or Scooby as you know him, for being on a show with me. Yeah, I mean, it's been an incredible semester of Smash casting. We, of course, have the PEC Championships still to look forward to, but that wraps up the regular season. Syracuse, the 3 seed, has a date in Vegas. We cannot wait to be there. They cannot wait to be there. We'll see you soon.